Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of Ladies Who List, Season 1, Episode 2, The Pitch. Are y'all ready? Let's get into it.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up.
Now, you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lies, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome back, everybody, and this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. To all of my nieces and nephews and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. If I had to rate this episode of Ladies Who List, Season 1, Episode 2, The Pitch, I will rate this episode a B. I'm finding this show, I am really enjoying this show. And I know that, there's a lot of other shows that are out there like this one, but I am really finding myself enjoying this show. Um, I like the format of this show. I think I said that the last time, but I couldn't really pinpoint what it was that I really liked about the format. And what I like about the format is that week after week, okay, so far, we have been truly introduced to the characters. Sometimes, you don't get the background or feel like you've gotten enough background on these individuals, but I like the way that they are incorporating real estate, what they sell, their lives, their personal lives, where they were and where they are. Like, I'm enjoying this show. So for that reason, I gave this show a B. Now, one of our girlfriends, I talked to her. I see you. Hey, boo. She said, Auntie, you got to get these names right. And y'all know I have always had a problem with getting names right. So I am going to try my best, okay, to get these names correct. All right. If I don't, eventually, after I hear it enough, I will get it. So let's get into it. The first person that we saw on this episode was Kyra. And Kyra is a luxury real estate agent, right? She sells homes to celebrities and all that kind of stuff. And we saw her with B. Simone. Now, she was showing her a condo in Atlanta, and the condo was a nice condo. It had a wonderful view, but it didn't have the closet space and the zhuzh for someone like B. Simone. And so Kyra indicated that, honey, I know these buildings backwards and forward. I know them inside and out, and I am going to be able to find the condo that's just right for her. Now, I really was kind of questioning that because I was thinking, if you know these buildings inside and out, Kyra, then you should have made sure that a lady of her stature had plenty of closet spaces. That was a dud, and I probably would not have sent her to that. But anyway, I digress. Kyra goes on to talk about her childhood. She was, had pictures with her grandmother and everything. And she had mentioned that they were raised, basically in a double wide trailer. And so a lot of these women are coming from hardships. I think the only one that isn't is Kimber, right? But Kim got a whole lot of stuff with her, okay, Miss Crystal. So anyway, We ain't talk about her right now. But anyway, so she had mentioned and showed us that she said that she had a house and she had saved up and finally brought a house that she wanted, her dream house, her and her boyfriend. And she said that she was at a bridal, did she say a bachelorette party or a wedding or something in Miami, and her boyfriend was in New York. And she said when she woke up in the morning that she was getting these text messages saying, "Girl, I hope you're not home. Call me, when you get the opportunity." Well, these messages were coming from her neighbor. And so she said when she finally got herself together, she went back and she looked, and she called her and she was like, "I'm not at home. Why? What's up?" And she said, "Your home burnt down." And we see her, I guess it was with a claim adjuster or whatever, and they were saying, if everything that wasn't affected in the fire on the first floor is salvageable, but the cotton freaking roof, like everything burnt down. And I know that that was heartbreaking and devastating. She said that all of her pictures and all of that stuff were were gone and stuff. And so some things you can replace, some things you can't. Y'all excuse me for a second, let me get this light back on. I'm having some issues with this light, and I just brought a brand new one, but it's so huge that I don't even know how I can bring it up in this office. Like, that sucker is huge. But just one second, because I really want you all to get some good light up in here. Okay. This sucker is just on the fritz. It's just time to get rid of it. Okay. There we go. So anyway, so she said that along with the house being burned down, she also lost her boyfriend. And I'm sure that, there probably was some blame to go around. Sometimes couples can't weather certain tragic events in their lives, and it's really sometimes not the fault of one or the other. It's just that, everybody has their own way of dealing with tragedy. And so, Kyra is, moving on with her life and, whatever. So the next person that we see is Kiana, okay, or Kiana, or Kiana, okay. Got to make sure because my girlfriends is checking me out here. These are my personal girlfriends. And so see her, and she is on Instagram, and she's, talking about real estate, which is what she does. And so, of course, y'all see I have company. I'm sorry, her butt's in the screen. Okay. She needed to readjust like these lights. And so anyway, we see her, and then, we see Chef Phil. And I tried to look him up, but I was like, I don't see nothing on him. So if anybody got Chef Phil information, put it down in the comment section. And so, her and her husband are, about to, dine with one another. And so she comes in. And there is something that I like about Kiana. Now, I don't know if you all like her, but I like her. But you know what? I'm an equal opportunity reader and roaster. And so we're going to get into her stuff too. But I do like her. I think that there's not one person that I don't like except for Crystal. Like, I'm feeling some kind of way about Crystal. But anyway, I think I keep going back to that. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling about Crystal. So we see her, and she, mentions that her and her husband have been together for 13 years, that they've been married for 8. She said that, she grew up very poor. She said that they would go months without having any electricity in their homes. And yet she was going to school with kids who was complaining about the food that their parents put in their lunchbox, and not, the fact that they got food at all. And the thing about it is, when you're in school and stuff like that, you really never know what another person's situation is. So, she was saying that, she has her whole family that is depending on her to wake up and be great every day. And I was like, what a hard pressure that has to be on her. I wrote down some notes about it. So she was talking about, Okay, let me see, because I had wrote that down. Hold on, y'all. Let me write that. Let me go back to my notes where I wrote that down because I was like, wow. So she says that her family depends on her and needs her to show up and be great. So she chooses that over protecting her personal feelings. But she is real releasing herself of that. Can you imagine that you got people who are depending on you so much that you're not even protecting who you are as a woman? You're not doing self care and all of that. A lot of times, I think that as women, we don't even know that we've lost ourselves to these responsibilities until we realize that we've lost ourselves to these responsibilities, if that makes sense. But I really had to write that down because I was like, that is a testimony of so many women being the matriarch of the family and carrying everybody, including your mama. And I don't know what her mother's personal situation was, but I'm like, that's a lot of pressure when you are employing all of your family. I think that you have to be very careful about doing that because we all know what happened to MC Hammer, right? So, I'm hoping that, she takes the time out now to really take care of herself, take care of her personal health and all of that. She's absolutely stunning. So we meet her husband, Anthony Watson, and like I said, they've been married for 8 years. And she begins to, talk about the situation with Robin. Now, as we all know, last week I indicated that Robin was charging her $13,000 to keep 26 contracts at $500 a piece. And so she is really, upset and bothered by this because she felt like Robin would, you know, help her out. But here's the thing, that this is really, really complicated because now she during the pandemic was trying to start her own company. She asked Robin to hold these contracts for her. And Robin, of course, was, trying to charge her the money for it. Now, did she want it free? Because see, I don't understand if she wanted it free or not. In my opinion, sometimes when people are starting off their business, their entrepreneurial business and stuff, we want stuff from free from people. And we don't know the struggle that Robin has to go through in order to maintain. Of course, she's got to pay for licensing and stuff like that for being a broker, but we don't really know, why Robin was charging her this. Now, you can't expect anything free. And if you thought that it was the $500 was too much, I don't understand why Kiana did not try to negotiate that. Why she took it very personal, probably hung up the phone and was mad or whatever. But you know what? Sometimes communication is the key, and just communicating and saying, hey, girl, God, why are you charging me $500? Again, and then I'm thinking, if she kept that, and let's say that Kiana wasn't able to broker the deal, okay, start her new business, what was the liability to Robin to keep these contracts over 30 days? Now, her idea was, okay, all I need is 30 days. But in lieu of the pandemic and everything, you don't know how long that it was going to take. And again, as I say, what is the liability to Robin to take on 26 contracts? Suppose some of the contracts fell through. I'm sure that there were a lot of things that was um that Robin probably considered. Now, later on in the conversation, right? Later on in the episode, we find that Robin said she was going through some mental things and she wasn't caring whether or not the phones was ringing or she was selling properties at all. But I just was like, is she expecting something free? If you're doing a startup business, you need all the support from your family, from your friends, from constituents, and whatever. Clients or whatever. You need everything. And having someone asks you when you're trying to start up to do something free. So anyway, she was discussing it with her husband, and she says that the relationship with her and her husband is superb. Now she says that he's the only person that she can feel like she can bare her soul to. She said that he has seen her through the good times and the bad times, and it doesn't make a difference. He loves her through it all. She said he's even taken her braids and her weave out her head. Now you know that's some love right there, honey. But she said that Anthony considered her as a friend and thought that she would do it on the strength of the friendship. Well, she was doing it on the strength of the friendship in so many words, because she was like, okay, I'm willing to do it at this point, at this cost. Again, if the cost was too much for her, she really should have, on the strength of their friendship, negotiated it. But her husband really didn't want to get into it. He was like, this is something that you all have to work out yourself. He said the husband said that he believes it was a business deal and that they need to work this out. Now she indicated Kiana indicated that Robin used to date her husband's friend. So, okay, are they still together? If they ain't still together, it don't make no difference. It doesn't make any difference one way or another. So, of course, we know that Crystal has put out the word that, Robin wants everybody to get together. Kiana wants to go to the meeting for the sole purpose of knocking it down. She wants all the other women to hear why they should not be with Robin and have a collective no. I thought that was just real dirty and foul and all that. If you're going to if you know that it's a no for you, why even show up? And then why show up to tear the girl's personality and stuff down? Just for me, when I see her, I just believe that she's above that. But sometimes as women, when we catty and we mad and all of that kind of stuff, and we holding bitterness and anger in our heart, we can't see past ourselves to see that this attitude that you're having right now is very catty and petty and just vindictive. Just have a simple conversation with her. And if your husband and her are really truly friends, this conversation should have happened a long time ago. It's amazing how people only see their side of the story, but not consider the other person's side of the story. And that's how I felt that she handled this, right? I just really was like, girl. So the next person that I want to talk about is Tiffany and Jeff. Tiffany is just that regular old woman, isn't she, y'all? Now she's a phenomenal woman. She's a closer, closing attorney. She's a phenomenal woman, but honey, she says she can't balance her life out. How many people can raise their hand and relate to that? These women are pouring out their lives to us. And sometimes we see ourselves where we are and we admire people. But you don't ever know what a person is going through. This is what it's letting me know. It is helping me to see, boo, you ain't the only one struggling. You're not the only one struggling with balancing life and work. It is who's that fabulous me balancing the hardest thing ever. Absolutely. Like yesterday, okay, I had every intention on coming out here. I cooked everything. I'm like, okay, I'm going to prepare this meal. I'm going to eat this meal. I'm going to do what I got to do. And then I'm going to go live. Honey, I was sick as a cotton freaking dog last night. Something in the meal, honey, turned that stomach inside out and outside in. And I don't have a backup. I don't have someone who can come out here and do this for me. I do this, by myself. It's sometimes hard to balance that out and, spending time with my child. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. And so I was very encouraged to see that she was able to get through that through the support of her family and friends. Because y'all, don't it take a village? It not only takes a village to raise you, your child, but it takes a village to raise you. It really does. And that's why we have to have those Titus 2 women that the Bible speaks of, who grows up and helps to mature the younger women. If only they would listen. But she said that she went through anxiety and panic attacks and that her support system pulled her through. She even said that her husband, during this crisis that she was going through, quit his job. And you know how many people probably stood on the outside looking at him and saying, this man ain't got no job. But he did it because his wife was going through, panic attacks and all of that kind of stuff. I like Tiffany and I like her husband. I also like Tiana. Is it Tiana? Okay, because my girlfriend's gonna check me. It's either Tiana or Tiana, okay? And her husband Arnold. The two of them went out with Tiffany and Jeff to celebrate 13 years of marriage. And she wanted to celebrate, Tiffany wanted to celebrate Tiana and her husband, because she said during this crisis, during this time when she was going through what she was going through, they were a big support system. The two of them started talking about, Tiffany had right, man. So Tiffany had brought up the fact about, not Tiffany, Tiana asked Tiffany about, girl, how did you think about, the little broker thing? And she was like, it was a little tense up in that mofo, right? Just was a whole lot going on. And so, they was like, so Tiffany was like, it was friendly, but it was, the air was thick. It was thick up in that camp. One thing that I like about Tiana is that she appears to be able to stay above the fray. She notices, but she's staying above the fray. She's not allowing herself to get down into the dirty. She's one of those people who is able to make her own decisions without being influenced by people on the outside. I like people who are able to do that. You can be in it, but not in it. You can be of it and not, okay? You're a critical thinker. You don't need somebody to tell you. Tiffany and Tiana, I think, are both critical thinkers. And they're not getting in the mass, okay? They're not going to get in it. Tiana thought that there was some banter, but that it was okay. And so Tiffany says that she needs people who got good energy. But she is absolutely side-eyeing Crystal. Now, two of them got a relationship with one another. They know one another, okay? So what Tiffany said, now Tiffany and Crystal are both closing attorneys. So when you purchase your home and everything, and you get all your tax dollars together, and it goes out to the loan officer and to the underwriter, and they do all of that they do, okay, that make your life miserable for the time being for about 30 days. You pulling up, stuff out the grave, honey. You pulling stuff up out the sky, like you're doing everything to go to closing. And so so closing is when you seal the deal, when you exchange the property, right? From the seller to the buyer, okay? Because you're the buyer. So she is the one who is sitting down at the table, and she's just legally closing up the deal, right? She ain't sold the house. She ain't showed the house. She ain't do any of that. She just the neutral party that said, okay, I'm going to check this paperwork. We're going to go down through here. I'm going to tell you what your responsibility is as a seller, and I'm going to tell you what yours is as a buyer, and how much did you bring to the table? How many credits did you give them? Okay, you got a PMI. Okay. Tiffany does all that. Well, so does Crystal. So Tiffany said, she was pregnant. She was having a baby and everything. So she says the next thing, Crystal calls her up on the phone and was like, girl, I know you having a baby and all that. Won't you go ahead on and give me all of your contracts that you working on, and I'll close this while you have a baby. Bitch, is you crazy? Now, again, You're too familiar. Because you didn't come over here. You didn't say that you wanted to help me with my other children. You didn't say Crystal is. Oh, I'm telling you, I'm trying to get her the benefit of the doubt right now, but I'm so not feeling her because she appears to be somebody. If it benefits her, she gonna prey on you. And I'm not saying PRAY. I'm saying PREY. It doesn't make a difference, honey. And she's going to do it with a smile on her face. So we see Robin. Robin goes over to the Healy building. I looked those condos up, okay, in Atlanta. And she meets with Frank. Frank is looking at a condo that is 860 square feet. And it's a studio apartment selling at $185,000. And if he was looking at that same property here in DC, he would be paying probably triple that. Yup, for 860 square feet in the right neighborhood. You go up and down waterfront and all of that kind of stuff, honey, you going to be paying. Let me tell you, them condos down that mofo, as small as I don't know what, they going for $1 million, $500,000, $1 million. So he's getting a good deal. Now, Robin, what I like about Robin is the first time that we were introduced to Robin, Robin was closing. The second time we was introduced to her, she was selling. Now, I know a lot of people, including one of my girlfriends, say that they would like to see these people sell homes. But we've already seen Robin do too. So selling homes doesn't mean that, we're going through the whole process with them. But Robin is taking us through the closing process. And now she's taking us through the selling process. She says out of 106 units, she has had over 50 transactions in this building. Robin says that she's the condo girl. That's her niche. And all of them have their different niches, right? This is, Kyra has the luxury, the celebs. What was it? Tiana has the athletes and stuff like that. Like all of them had their different niches. And I was like, this is like, I'm loving this show. But anyway, so she has Frank. She's showing Frank the home. And one of the things that she talked about was the first time home buyers program. And navigating through the first time home buyers program is not an easy feat. But she gives him wisdom and she says, hey, look, I know this is small and it's your starter home. But what you can do is sit on this for a couple of years and then sell it. Take the equity out of it because Atlanta is still building. So the house is going to build equity in it. Take that out and buy your dream home. Not only that, he can Airbnb it. It's down in the center of Atlanta, so there's a lot of advantages to him buying this property. And so guess what she says, Frank, we closing on this? He said, yes. Girlfriend got her niche. She's working in that particular area. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to stay in your lane. And that's the thing that I think I respect about her. And stay in your lane, boo. If condos is your thing, sell condos. You're still making money off of it. You may not be selling a $5 million home, but honey, every little bit counts. Okay? Every little bit counts. And so while she may be selling 5 homes per month, 5 condos per month, somebody's selling 1 luxury home. And guess what? At the end of the day, it may come out to be the same amount. I don't know. I love this. One of the things that I like was that Robin had taken us back, in her life again. And Robin indicated that it was hard for her as a single mom raising 2 kids. She said the Robin she is today is not the Robin she was yesterday. And a lot of people don't understand what it took for her to become this Robin. I got chill bumps because that's so true about all of us. We're not the same people that we used to be and can't be held to the same place where we used to be. And she said that she moved in order to start anew, to get away from all of those things. And I thought of a scripture in the Bible where it says, putting those things in the past, I press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling. And I'm saying, Robin, girl, press. No, you're not perfect. And you may not have the best relationship with other women, but continue to press towards the mark. Because as long as you press towards the mark, eventually, boo, you gonna make it. And one thing, and another thing I like about Robin is she's unapologetically her. And when you sit and high up on the throne, everybody, well, not everybody, but some people want to bring you down. Robin, honey, stay up there. Don't climb down that ladder. And in my opinion, even though her idea is a good idea, it's causing her to have to climb down the ladder. And sometimes when you up on the ladder, you just got to stay up there and finish what you got to finish on the roof and then come down. But this right here is causing her to have to get in the weeds. But anyway, so we saw that Tiana, she won an award for the best social media campaign of 2021. And I wish that we had seen more of that. We saw the ladies standing around and, talking and being a little catty about this thing. But I just was like, I wish that we had saw more um, of that. So we are now at the pitch. And Robin, all the ladies are there. Okay. And then she's going to take her nose and put it in the small of my back, right where I had an epidural 20 some years ago, honey. So, honey, if I shoot up to the roof or y'all see me flicker her off, honey, she right at that spot. So we see the women there now at the restaurant and everything. Robin comes in and, she is the grandma dam. Okay. Madame, as Karen would say. So, she comes in, she greets everybody. She's got her pink dress on and her heels up. That blonde hair, she is rocking it. Like, I'm loving it. I'm loving everything about her as an older woman. I'm loving everything about Robin. So Robin comes in, she greets everybody, she gives everybody a hug. They sit down and they start doing the pictures. So she's raised her glasses up to celebrate her friend Crystal and to thank Crystal for bringing all of these powerful women together. And then Kiana was like, I mean, Crystal, I thought that this was your idea. She was like, well, she's the one that, did all the phone calls and all of that kind of stuff. And so Robin moves on and says, I don't have this well planned out. And if you all have any suggestions about what you would like, to see this be. And then Crystal going to yell out, her homegirl is going to yell out and say, well, can you just tell us what you want? Just tell us what you want. Thank you so much, Bobby, for the $50 super chat. Hello, Auntie. I was wondering if this is a great show. Loves. Have not seen it yet. Thanks for the review. Thank you, Bobby, for the $50 super chat. It is a good show. Now, you're a man, so I don't know how much you would like it, but it is a good show. So try it out. Thank you, boo. So Crystal's like, just tell us what you want. Tell us why we're here. Tell us. I'm thinking to myself, would you just sit back, Crystal, and shut the up? Crystal don't want to see Robin win. I don't give a good goddamn what y'all think. Crystal don't want to see Robin win. She don't. She don't. She is hanging on to Robin for whatever the reason is, but she doesn't want to see her win. And it ain't nothing like having a friend that really ain't your friend. That the moment they get behind your back, they are stabbing you in it. Matter of fact, they taking jabs on the side. That absolutely, Auntie Eva. Okay? Crystal was shiesty. Yeah, we're not doing fake friends in 22 and going forward. Absolutely. Crystal's sister even said she was condescending, shaking my head. So when she begins to talk about and give the pitch, she said that, we are all African American women. We're making our money, but some of you all are working for white brokers. She said, I think that we all can come together and take all of the counties in Atlanta or in Georgia, and we could rock this mofo. So that's just like if you being in the District of Columbia and you got real estate agents and they are working certain quadrants in the District of Columbia, right? You take all of those real estate agents who are African American women and you put all of them together and they all on different quadrants. You could take DC over. You got one, one in Northwest. You got one in Northeast, Southwest, and Southeast. Then you're taking Georgetown. You're taking Petworth. You're up there at Rittenhouse. Okay. You're down in the Shaw neighborhood. You're over in Brooklyn. Okay. You're taking it. You're taking that. This is what her vision is. So Tiana was like, I think this is a great idea. Matter of fact, her and Crystal clink glasses together. For the meantime, I think the women should come together not to be anti-white. And I'm hoping that they're not trying to communicate it that way. Because I don't think it's fair to be anti-white. You just getting sisters together. Let's just say it like that. Because it doesn't make a difference who you work for. I can't stand when people be like, I work for the white man. We all work for each other. And I understand her concept of getting these sisters together. But let's just get the sisters together for the sake of getting sisters together. Okay? I had to put that out there. And I hope I don't offend anybody. But that just rubbed me kind of the wrong way. Now, I can see what she means by when she says a male-dominated industry. I think, she may have some, she may be right about that. Child. And she's snoring. Y'all excuse my baby snoring. So Kiana says she thinks that you need to have a level of support at the table, and she feels like it's got to be that support got to come from respect. Well, you respected her enough to ask her to hold your stuff, and because she didn't hold your contracts for you, now you seeing her differently. But how about you see yourself differently? Did you articulate, Kiana, what you really wanted out this deal? That's bothering me. But one thing about it, they sat there and they talked about it. And Kiana was like, I just saw you totally different when you was trying to make $13,000 off of me. And Robin was like, so why you ain't talk to me about it? This happened over a year ago. And so, she was like, because I just was feeling, some kind of way about you, wooty wooty woo. And she was like, well, I said, I apologize. I was in a bad headspace. Like my mental space was off. And so she was like, well, she said, don't deflect. And she said, don't minimize what I've been through. The thing that I liked about it is that Tiffany reminded her of how she was there for her and how she was in a mental place herself. Another thing that I liked about Tiffany is that when Tiffany talked about Crystal and her relationship with Crystal, she said, I'm in competition. We're in competition together. We are in competition together. When Robin asked Crystal the same thing, she said, I'm not competing with anybody. Bitch, yes, you are. Yes, you are. We're all in competition. And competition is not a bad thing. Somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. It's not a bad thing for you to be wanting to aspire healthy competitiveness. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you can't come down off your high horse and recognize and realize that that's what it is, you fake it in them up. Auntie, stay focused. So, it goes on. And so Kiana says, well, you know what, Robin? I do have enough respect for you to have an off the table conversation with you, just you and I. Robin had suggested earlier, she was like, I'll take you out to lunch. I'll take you out to dinner. I'll do whatever it is in order to mend this. Because, at this point now, Robin realizes that after a year, Kiana's still stuck there. And so she was like, I don't need your dinner. That wasn't the point. But okay, I understood. It was heated. When you're in a heat of the moment, you'll say things that you may not mean. But our girl, Tiffany, absolutely brought her back in and was like, you got to remember, honey, where I was and where you was for me. And that brought her, kind of brought Kiana down. But then Kyra pops out. Well, I just want to say that I used to respect you, but y'all, the two of you, Robin and Crystal, at some point, you all stopped following me on Instagram. I can't even get it out without laughing. Little girl, you mean to tell me that you sitting here worrying about how many people are following you on Instagram? Let me tell you something, honey. I have my Instagram private. I think I got maybe 4,000 subscribers. I don't know how many I got sitting, waiting on me to approve them or whatever, right? I'm always getting emails and DMs. Auntie, approve my Instagram. I don't know whether or not you unsubscribed. I don't know. I don't have a clue. I have over 4,000 people. You think I'm zeroing on somebody? Robin said, oh my God, that algorithm. Let me tell you something. There is an algorithm on Instagram. Why do you think that there are certain people who do not show up? Their stories and when they live don't show up? Because these are the people that you don't look at frequently. There's an algorithm on Facebook. There's an algorithm on Instagram. There's an algorithm on YouTube. If you do not watch somebody's YouTube channel on a regular basis, you will not get the notifications. It's the same thing on Instagram. And Kiana was like, oh my God, no, you did not talk about the algorithms. That is real. And you would think that women at this caliber would know that there is an algorithm on Instagram. I am following, how many people am I following on Instagram? Let me look. I am following 878 people. I have approximately 4,538 subscribers. Do you think that all 858 people are showing up in my lives? No, only the people that I'm frequently going to. The algorithm is going to push this stuff up. Whether they do a TikTok video, whether they're live with someone else, is going to show up. All 878 people are not in my algorithm. Neither am I in other people's. Stop it with the bullcrap. There is an algorithm. It's real. Some people show up too much. And you know what I do to them? Mute. Let your ass keep showing up. I'm going to mute you. Because Instagram pushes that content to you. They also push ads to you. Say something in your house, bitch, and see if they don't push the ad. You be sitting up there talking about a pizza at Target, and next thing you know, a pizza at Target shows up. This is real. So why it was a joke, I don't know. But I'm a YouTuber, I'm a content creator, and I know that there's an algorithm on every one of these platforms. It is what it is. And if you got your mic on anything, bitch, they listening. They listening to everything. You got to turn that off. But anyway, so, she goes on. And so Robin was like, I was just wondering what I do. Robin said, I didn't do anything. She was like, so that's what I'm saying. And so now Crystal is trying to engage. But Robin hasn't settled it with Kiana because next thing you know, Kyra is throwing insults and calling Robin old and saying that Robin is old and bitch, you wish you could live to be this old and be this beautiful. Robin stepped up, honey, and was like, oh, and showed that body. She said, I have sold 165 listings. She said, well, since when? And what time period? Because I'm on you. Little girl. The housing market can flip anytime. Anytime. Everything that can be turned over has been turned over. Even athletes. People are not filling in the stadiums. Everything is subject to change. This pandemic has shown us that everything can change in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. And what I think happened to Kyra is that she admired Robin. And when Robin came off and unfriended her, unfollowed her, and they say that it takes effort to unfollow. No, it don't. You push that button, honey, and you click unfollow. It brings you a drop-down menu, bitch, and you pick one or the other. And the thing about it is, Robin is a Titus 2 woman. She's a woman that can teach you some things. Robin said, condos is my thing. I'm in my lane. And so Kyra got a lot to learn because anytime you want to say that this didn't affect you, yet it affected you and you brought it up and you acting ignorant at the table, it affected you. Now you just need to be honest about why it did. Now Crystal gets up and she wants to get into the conversation. Robin told her, sit your ass down, Crystal. Go back to your green chair. Because when Robin was trying to talk, she was like, no, Robin, let Kyra talk. Go ahead, Kyra. You instigating, agitating. First of all, why you got that sequin shirt on with them jeans? Booty jean shorts. Okay, you wanted us to see your legs. We saw them. Okay, you're a beautiful chocolate woman. But celebrate, boo. She's not a friend to Robin at all. She sabotages, in my opinion. She's almost like the waters look calm. But what kills you is the current underneath it. She is the current underneath the water. She's the one that'll pull you down. This is my opinion. You may not agree, but this is my opinion. She is absolutely the current under the water that looks like it's calm. The saboteur. Robin said, go back and sit in your green chair. But instead, she comes over because she had been making faces the whole night anyway. You know, she's one of those people that's almost hoping that everybody don't do it. She brought it together for the spectacle of it all. She wants to, in my opinion, see Robin fall flat on her face. She is not a friend. And then when Robin tells her to get out of it, stay out of it because she's going to war, she said, I said that I was sorry. I apologize over and over, and y'all just want to keep digging and digging and digging. Next thing you know, Crystal's in her face. Crystal, her friend, her best friend, and says, you're triggered. Now, Kiana even said there seems to be something going on between Crystal and Robin's relationship. They say that they're best friends, but there's something going on. And you think that Kiana the only one see that? You're triggered. Robin said, don't you say that to me. Now, Robin, you got to keep your hands to yourself. Your girl is saying this because she wants them to see you come out of pocket. See, because you were successfully defending yourself and successfully having an argument or disagreement with the ladies. It was Crystal's job to make sure that they saw the other side of Robin. That side of Robin that you decided to pick your kids up and leave, Crystal wants them to see her. And we see on the preview for the next episode that Robin is sitting and crying in lamentation and mourning of whether or not she needs to be friends with Crystal. Anybody would have been triggered. First of all, don't say, I'm triggered. Trigger is one of those words, action words. Because, and Robin was like, if you want to see me triggered, I can show you triggered. Now, I may be a little upset and I may be arguing and trying to defend myself, but I'm not triggered by this. Boy, nobody needs a friend like Crystal. And Crystal gonna get hers. One of the things that I like in closing, one of the things that I like that Robin said was when she was talking about Kiara, and Kiara was trying to age shame her. Yes, she was. Age shame her. Robin said, we all walk up the same flight of stairs. And if that ain't the truth, I don't know what is. She said, I just walked up them first. But women like myself and like Robin and like many of you other older women, older successful women, in our own way, we have opened up doors. We have opened up doors for you. And even those doors that we did not open, that someone else opened before us, we have the wisdom to help you walk through every door and climb up every ladder that you need to climb up and every door you need to walk through. And no, you don't owe us anything. You don't owe us nothing. And we don't owe you anything. But when we come together with what you know as a millennial or as a younger person, coupled with what I know as an older woman, we all can be great. And you don't have to age shame anybody. Because, honey, Robin look good. And in my opinion, her body is on yours. Okay. Anyway, y'all, that is the end of my review. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm hoping that, this show catches on because I love this show. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode. I would love to hear from y'all. I love y'all to pieces, and thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Bobby, so much for the $50 super chat, and I hope that you check it out. Love y'all. Bye.